Happy Wednesday, everybody. How is everybody doing this evening? Hello, Miss Ella Williams and Helen Goss. Hello, hello, my friends. Hello, everybody. Well, secure down my tinsel ties. Hello, Miss Lynn. Hello, Vanessa. Hey, Karen. Hello, all my friends. Hello, Miss Linda. Hello, Tony. Don't worry, y'all. I will flip this over here in just a minute and show you how I loaded my board before we continue on. And I will show you the supplies that we are working with tonight. And I will also let you know, my friends, okay? I put together some awesome Jackie's picks for you this week. I did. And also, picks, sprays, and florals are 25% off now through April 30th. Go chopping, my friends. Get you some goodies. Goodies. I think we have a special affiliate link for y'all. Hello, Sherry and Denise. Hello, Miss Ruthie. Hello, Miss Pam Livingston. All right, so let me flip this over and show you how it's loaded tonight. Obviously, we're using the oval wreath board for this project. Ta-bam! This is how we load our board. This is how we load our board at Unique in the Creek. The bad singing is just an added bonus to the evening, my friends. Okay, so all the supplies that I know for sure I'm going to use, you know, sometimes Jackie uses other things, are listed in the description. The first supply we're going to use is this handy dandy convenient sign and ribbon set. Ta-da-da-da. And we have a little visitor with us tonight, y'all. And her name is Chica. I have a Chica and my neighbor has a Chica. And Tiffany is puppy sitting the bonus Chica. We call her Chica Dose. That's what we call her. We call this little one Miss Chica Dose. Yeah. Yeah. Chica Dose. Hello.
Hello.
That's Miss Chica Dose. All right. So these ribbons come in the sign and ribbon kit. So that's going to be our starting point. And then the loudmouth you hear barking in the background, that's Chica. All right. Hello, Miss Tina Kelly. How are you this evening? The additional ribbon that I'm going to use is we're going to use this, and it's pink. I didn't realize it was pink. Crap. I didn't look at this side, but I'll show it to y'all. It's pink and orange, but I guess we'll save that for another project. But we are going to use this orange and black. Okay, my friends? And since we got our ribbon out, now believe it or not, I wanted to show y'all something cool because you can't really tell on the website the colors in this. But if you wanted to, you could actually use this for fall. It's got the right shades to use it for fall, but we're going to take it the direction for like summer, spring. Hello, Lori. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and cut ribbon while I have my ribbon out. We'll just go ahead and cut it and get it out of the way. We're going to cut 10 pieces of each 14 inches. Hello, Miss Donna. And then I'm going to use orange and white mesh. You can see that out here to the side. And you're going to cut 10 pieces, 20 inches, 10 pieces, 15 inches. Tina, I think there's a special affiliate link for this sale. Now, I paired this up this week. Hello, Robin. Welcome. Hello, Tanya. I paired this up with some monarch butterfly, a monarch butterfly pick, believe it or not, and it's got a eggs nest. Oh, use code April25 for the sale. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a special code, Tina. Yeah. I confused. Hello, Miss Kim. I'm going to continue on because Tina Kelly, use my affiliate link when purchasing, and then the code April25 to get the discount. That's what Tina Kelly says, so that's the way it is. I trust Tina Kelly. Where is everybody? Kind of doing my prep work first. Give people time to join in before I get started. And I will let y'all know next month, coming into the summer months, when I come back from surgery, we will be changing my time slot to just a little bit later. You know, not much, but we're going to change it to 7 o'clock. So that give, you know, like I said, just a little bit later. So while I'm sitting here cutting my ribbon and getting ready, I'll tell you all about my newest shopping adventure. And I'm annoying my husband with it. Okay? Everybody else has summer hours, so I'm going to have summer hours too. I think that makes sense, don't y'all? So my newest shopping adventure, and I'm annoying my husband with it, so let me be very specific on how I'm annoying my husband. So I'm looking for an area rug, which may seem like an easy task, but herein lies the problem. And it's actually a big problem, because if you know anything about rugs, especially area rugs, you know the most beautiful ones are made of wool. And I'm allergic to wool. All right, so let me show you the rest of the stuff, and then we're going to get started. So what I have here is we're going to use these. Okay. Now, once again, hey, Angie. Once again, these are in Jackie's picks this week with this sign and whatnot. These are included in it, and like I said, another pick. So it's just a little bit different than what I'm doing, but you can apply the same technique, okay? And then we're going to use some bead grass. And then we're going to use these orange peonies, which I need to fire up my steamer, I think. All right. And that's to put the highs and lows of the orange sign in. So we're going to put the shades of the orange in. All right. Now, I'm just going to tell y'all once again, if for some reason you don't get around to making this for summer, you can actually make it for fall as well. That's one thing I like about this kit. When I got it, it's not showing the true colors in the picture. It looks all orange, but it's not. Okay? So this is the kind of thing, like, you could get it now, and if you need to make a summer wreath now, you can. But because of the tones of the orange, you could use it for fall. Okay? And it just takes a little bit of change because you can see the pumpkin orange color in there and whatnot. All right. See what I mean? All right. So I just wanted to show you all that before we get started, and we are going to get started. Hello, Miss Lori. How are you? How are you doing this evening? But I kind of knew if some of y'all got it after I got it, you'd be like, well, how am I supposed to make that look like summer? So that's what we're doing. All right. So once again, before we get, let me tell you, I cut my mesh. Okay. And I cut 10 pieces, 20 inches, and 10 pieces, 15 inches. All right. And the reason that I chose the orange and white mesh was to put the brighter color in it. If you're going to want to do it like a fall, you might want to get the orange and black. And I actually think y'all better beat me to this kit because I think I'm going to get two more of them for fall. Because it's just so easy to flip this sign to fall as well. As y'all can see, Lori's back from vacation. And by the way, hint, hint, y'all take a good hard look at Jackie's picks this week. The reason that I chose the ribbon sign sets this week was because they're already discounted a little bit because they're together for y'all. And then I picked out picks and sprays and things like that that were on sale. So it's kind of like purchasing a kit. Hint, hint. And I think on one of them, even the mesh that I picked was on sale. So this week I focused on doing everything that I could to save y'all a ton of money on Jackie's picks. We'll take a good look this week at Jackie's picks. And Jackie's picks are in a selection under this week's picks. All you have to do is go to this week's picks. All the products that I picked are under that collection. we make it super easy for you to be able to shop this week's picks every week. Any new puppy stories? No, not this week. But took Buster to the vet yesterday, and Buster's got to have surgery. Poor guy. And he's going to have that next week. I feel bad for my husband because the same day that Buster's having surgery, I've got to go get an injection. And so my poor husband's going to have to drop Buster off to the vet and then come back and get me and take me to get my injection. And then hopefully maybe Buster will be done after my injection and we can pick him up on the way home. But if not, then my poor husband is off to the races again. Yes, this is just one roll of mesh. Cut 10 pieces for the outside, 20 inches, and then 10 pieces for the inside, 15 inches. Yeah, Buster's got to have a hernia repaired. Poor guy. Now, there is a funny story about Buster when I took him to the vet. Buster is like the best dog ever. So well behaved, so well mannered. I mean, y'all, he likes everybody. I've never heard him growl at another dog. Never growled at a cat. Nothing. Okay, well, I take that back. Buster does not like the FedEx guy, but that's a different story. So, anyway, so Mr. Buster goes into the vet's office, and I took him to the bathroom and everything before we left. I let him sniff around and everything outside before we came in. This is Mr. Flooferton. He's our big floof. He weighs 30 pounds. 29.5 according to the vet, but we'll just call it 30 after he eats. But anyway, so we go into the vet, and we walk up to the receptionist desk, and Buster left his opinion on how he felt about being on the vet right there on the receptionist desk and raised his leg. He said, "Piss on y'all." And of course, me, thoroughly embarrassed, because, you know, he's my best boy. He is the most well-behaved one. Well, Chica is too, but, you know, typically Buster's the most well-behaved one out of the bunch. And then here he goes. Just a little disappointing there, pal. So here I am going, you know, you got something I can clean that up with? Oh, no. We're used to it. We'll be right around to clean it up. Then I felt really bad for the receptionist. Yeah, Ruthie, but it was so unbuster-like. So unbuster-like. You know, we kept telling, you know, how well Buster's behaved and everything like that. And Chica showed him up, you know. Because Chica had surgery before him, and they were bragging on her about how well behaved she is, and blah blah blah, and yep. I was like, I thought I'm missing a piece of mesh, y'all, and it's on the floor. Not a good place for it. But we do have a Mr. Blewett. Mr. Blewett! Can I get your assistance, please? I dropped a piece of mesh on the floor. No, not me. Why would I drop a piece of mesh on the floor? Thank you. Hello, Miss Carrie. Okay. Isn't that pretty, y'all? I love this stripe mesh. And y'all know my favorite one is the red and white stripe, especially during Christmas. Yes. Oh, Lynn, I have a big mouth. I just yell. And when all else fails, Lynn, we have phones. I call on the phone. Like, if I'm down and I need something, I just call or text. Y'all, I think that I'm kind of sad because I think we're going to be officially empty nesters come August. In order for Tiffany to continue her degree, she's got to move to Owensboro and go to school there. And Owensboro is 2.5 hours from us, so it's not going to be like a hop, skip, and a jump to be able to see her. And she's going to be taking little Miss Lily with her to school. My husband's like, yay! Like, yippee! One less dog to worry about. Speak of the little devil, and here it comes running out. She's having to go have a conversation with Mr. Blewett. I'm not sure what about. Y'all, I'm really thinking about putting pink in this. Well, she's going to get her doctorate, but to get there, she's got to get vet tech first. So that's what she's taking. So she'll be up there and oh, my husband and Lily, yes, they do. She sasses him bad. She has a lot to say to him. Oh, my daughter is constantly watching vet shows. Constantly. Dr. Pole, I think is like. No, it's not Halloween. We're doing spring, but yeah, it could go that direction. If you're not careful. Like if you added like lime green. Yep. But I'm kind of leaning toward adding pink to really make sure that it stays springy. Oh, yep. Tiffany watches Rocky Mountain Vet. There's another one that exotic animal one. She's got a list of them, Lynn. Like a complete list. Yeah, I think we're going to add the pink to keep it from looking so Halloweenish. I think we are. I think we're going to make a ribbon change. Because I was going to use this one, but I think instead... Oh! Perfect! We'll use this one that's got pink and orange in it. Jackie, take a better look at your ribbon before you go live. We're going to use this one. And let me drop really quick in the comment the change here. The code for the ribbon. And this is the... And then, because that's got the pink and orange in it. So that's what we're going to do, y'all. We're going to make this change. Not bad. And then this plain one is already in the description. Okay? We're just going to make that change. Now, it's not going to be her first time away from home. Because She went to Murray State last year, and her anxiety was a little much, so she wanted to reel it in and come back home. So she's been doing online classes. Pink florals, y'all, to put the pink in. So she's been doing online classes. All right, y'all, sorry about the changes, but kind of should have went with my gut in the first place, but I didn't. But that's okay. All right. So the good thing is, because we're going to use all 1.5 ribbon, that the Luxe ribbon is really great ribbon, so it's really going to be able to support our bow. Typically, the reason you start out with the 2.5 ribbon is for the support. Okay? All right, so at the base of our bow, we're going to start out by using the pink and white dot, like so. I love the double-sided ribbon. And then we're going to use the orange and white side. And that's kind of to put the punctuation mark on the colors here. This is how we load our board, You're welcome. You're welcome, Beck. Anything that I can do to help. All right, and I'm going to make these loops the same size. Typically I wouldn't, but I'm going to with these. For the start, because this is going to be our bottom of our bow. So we're going to have the support. And now we're going to come in with our black and white dot. So now we're going to make our loop just a little bit shorter. Every time you load a unique in the Creek board, Beck, you're going to be singing that song. You'll think of me. Haha. All right, now we're going to come in with this plain ribbon. All right, the 7/8 ribbon to break up all the monotony of the patterns. And we're going to start with the pink side up first, because it's double-sided ribbon again. Then cut that off, and we're going to flip it over to the orange side now. This is a pretty bow, y'all. And once again, we're going to make these loops the same size as the last set. And now we're going to come back in with the black and white stripe. Yes, it's on the website. All right, and then because we have so many patterns, we're going to come back with this bow ribbon one more time to see how many patterns we have. And we're going to use this one to polish things off. And we're going to start with the pink side up. And then we're going to do the two pink. I didn't twist. And for the last, we're just going to flip it over for the orange. Okay. Any questions so far? Well, thank you, Miss Linda. And I need my one zip tie so I don't lose track of top and bottom for my door hanger. Yeah, all these ribbons are available at Unique in the Creek. All right, so we're going to put our bow directly in the middle. And we're going to go high with it because I kind of want to go high with my sign. Yikes. UniqueInTheCreek.com. My bad, Tina Kelly. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Tina Kelly. My bad. You called me out before Lynn did. Sing with me, Beck. This is the way we fluff our bow, fluff our bow, fluff our bow. This is the way we fluff our bow at Unique in the Ow! Alright. So we're going to do a half and half with these tails. We're going to go up with half of them. So this side I'm going to go up. Down. I heard you, Beck. Yeah, that way with the orange. That way with the pink. Separate. Go that way. Oh, that goes above that. Yes. Ooh, look at that bow, y'all. Isn't that pretty? All right. We're going to cut our tails down just smidges. Okay, I'm glad I added the pink. I'm glad I changed my mind. All right, so now we're going to add our sign. I clip off the jute cord. Don't really need it. And then I'm going to staple on some pipe cleaners. The sign is thick enough. I'm using 1/4 inch staples. All right, good. That puts the sign up high because I wanted the sign up higher. Because I definitely didn't want it sitting, yikes, in the middle, and I lost my pipe cleaner. Come back here. Back here. So the halfway point on the oval, I'm using the holes. This is the halfway point, and then one set of holes up is where I'm at attaching the sign. Now, if you wanted to put the sign directly in the middle, you could. Just make 2 bows, put one at top and one at bottom. Ugh. Ow! I was telling y'all about shopping for carpets. My poor husband. So he's kind of on the ride with me. Because I've been sending him pictures of different ones. And then I was like, well, okay, but what size should we get? And then he responded back this one time. He's like, a big one. I was like, well, how big? I think my husband finally conceded to the point. He was just like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know either. He's to the I don't care portion of the event. Because it upsets me, the rug I really, really want only comes in runners and doesn't come in area rugs. So I messaged the company just to double check, and they're like, no, we're sorry. And I'm like, well, you suck. So I was kind of thinking maybe just wait and see if they do it in an area rug. Since that's the one I really, really want. What y'all think? Would you wait and hold out and see if they made the one you really, really wanted in rectangular? What would y'all do? You know what I should do? I should just give y'all the link, and then y'all bombard the company, letting them know you want this in a rectangular, just so I can get the rug. Because I'm sure if they got enough requests, they would make it in a rectangular. Right? Kind of like give the people what they want. Y'all know what I mean, right? I'm really careful, Denise, where I put area rugs in my house so that I won't trip on them. I'm very, very careful. That is one of the big things that I think about when placing an area rug. So I get you. I feel like I move so slow anymore. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all are so patient and kind with me. So I'm not the only one that's looking for an area rug. Well, at least I don't feel alone. Like I said, my biggest issue with them is that, well, they're like the most beautiful ones are wool. And I'm allergic to wool. So that kind of makes it hard to make a compromised decision of any kind. All right, yeah. So I'm going to hot glue these in. And then I'm going to also tie them with my PVC stem to kind of back it up because these are a little bit heavier. And we're just going to kind of use these around the top. I feel like my one dog Buster, I feel like he should have a say so in the area rug too because he's the one that lays on it all the time. Like I put an area rug down and that's his spot according to him. I feel like saying, is this one soft enough, pal? Wait a minute, is this my last time live before? Nope. Next Wednesday is my last time live. Oh, that's a lot of talk. Both the small dogs are fighting over Tiffany. And I mean fighting like... Because technically, Chicado's had her first. Because Tiffany's been puppy sitting Chicado's on and off for a little bit now. So... Yeah, that little dog respects no boundary. All right, now we're going to come back in with just a little bit more greenery. I think, y'all, we are going to... We're going to kind of stab that in there. I left the length on that about 1 inch so I could get a good stab into my mesh for it to stay. And I'm not doing it to the center of the pick, I'm doing it just to the left of it. Because I'm going to come around and add a little bit more of the beaded grass to the center. And then always, you're not making a wreath unless you're burning your finger with hot glue. No. You are entitled to no personal space as far as those little dogs are concerned. All right, now we are going to go all the way around with the beaded grass. And that's just to help support the bow at the bottom. But we didn't need to put all the florals all the way around. But we are going to go all the way around, like I said, with the beaded grass. All right. And like I said, we're going to put some toward the center, a little bit closer to the sign. And that's just to kind of tone down the orange a bit, y'all. Like, we love the orange, but we want to tone it down just a smidge so that the pink will pop out. Y'all know what I mean? So I'm going between all my bundles with that. Get that in there. And as you can tell, we definitely need to put some of the pink back in, don't we? Some more pink in it. The ribbon just isn't enough. Because they're shaky dogs. Aw, are they going to be friends after all? For today. Tiffany's got one dog on her shoulder, the other one's sitting on her chest. They are claiming their territory. Chicados is over here like, I saw her first. Lily's like, but I live here. Don't. I think I'm gonna pop a couple of these up in front around the bow too. Just for good measure. There we go. That looks better. All right, so let's get that pink in there. So these are bright, bright pink, y'all. They almost look red on the camera, but they're bright pink. Bright, bright. Where's my junk scissors? By the way, I found a trick one day to sometimes take these tags off, y'all. Pull the flower head off and then just pull the tag up. If you can. That works pretty good. All right, so we kind of like the greenery on this stem, so we're going to kind of keep it. Sometimes I don't, and I try to get rid of it. Even though it's pink?
It does pink. No, it's more red than fairview.
Alright, so I cut these stems fairly long because they're small flowers. And we're going to put them in between our orange. We're just going to throw them right up there in the middle of everything. Chickados, there's plenty of room in Tiffany's lap for all of y'all. Just, you know. Tiffany's got Buster in her lap right now, and Chickados is very offended. Chickados is like, I am the guest. First come, first serve. Oh. Ooh, okay. Are we not glad we added the pink? We are glad. Yeah, it kind of looks like it's like fuchsia, but I actually got these flowers right here for another project. Now I'm going to have to sit there and pray that Sherry at the ribbon shed has not ran out of them.
My favorite Pika. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Oh my gosh. Now is not the time to fight, y'all, and play. Like, calm down. Alright, I've got one left, so I'm just going to kind of put it up here. I'm going to cut it down a little bit. I'm going to put it up here in the middle of everything. Like so. And really pop that pink up against that orange sign. Alright. Yay! See how that pink really pulled everything together? We have a happy wreath now, y'all. Okay, so we're going to do something before we put in the orange flowers. We're going to put in a couple of, well, 3 to be exact, 3 pink bows to really pop that pink in here. If y'all know what I mean. And I'm just going to kind of whip these up by hand. So I use exaggerated loops, so about like a 5-inch loop is what I'm going to use. Like I said, we're going to use the pink side of this ribbon. And we're going to bury this one right here. And the reason I'm using this is because I don't have any large pink flowers. Okay? So I'm using this, the pink in the ribbon, to put the larger amount of pink in the wreath. Somebody over there is extremely opinionated. So to make a bow by hand, like I said, I'm using about a 7 to 8 inch tail. Okay. And then usually I'm pretty good at it. Approximately a 5-6 inch loop. I've been making a lot of these by hand for umpteen years. And then once you loop your first loop, pinch it together, and then grab your ribbon on the underneath, and twist it back up to the pink. Then we're going to twist that. My husband's making fun of one of the dogs right now. Chicados is having a discussion with my husband. Which I think is hilarious, y'all. I get a kick out of it. Because Chicados and Lily both like to argue with my husband. All right, I know my tie's in there somewhere. I used to like cats. No judgment, y'all. I used to like cats. I really did. And then I got tired of the litter box and the puking all over the house. The hairballs, the litter box, the hairballs, the puking, the hairballs. Mm-hmm. The litter box, the hairballs. I think it's because I grew up with cats. My grandparents had cats, and then for a long time I always had a cat, and then I just like the puking, and it just became too much for me, y'all. Now, if you don't have, if you do not have or cannot get any orange florals, you can just go back between these bows and flip this over and just use the orange or use any kind of orange ribbon that you want. My husband, one of my husband's kids is allergic to cats. See, some of y'all didn't think I was going to make this look like a spring wreath. Ha 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 ha. Joke's on y'all. Never doubt Jackie. This wreath is more spring than some of y'all thought it would be, isn't it? Ta-da! Isn't that pretty, y'all? All right, y'all, just a reminder. Okay, so you'll see me one more time next week, Wednesday, before my surgery. I believe that's the 30th, correct? Is Wednesday? Yes, Wednesday's the 30th. So y'all will see me on the 30th, which is also the last day of the 25% off sale. When I come back from surgery, my time will change. We're going to go to what we're going to call summer hours. I'll be on a little bit later. That way y'all can enjoy the daylight and not have to worry about rushing to see me. So I'll be on at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And I'm not sure how long I'll be gone. Hoping with my husband's help and the change of hours, which is the other reason we're going to change it. So, because my husband, that way he'll be home to be my helpy helper. And so maybe I'll be back in like a couple weeks. Give me 2 weeks to get past the initial worst pain of the recovering. That's the hope. So we'll see. All right. Don't forget to use my affiliate link and coupon code April 25 for the 25% off on florals, picks, and sprays. All right. Y'all have a great rest of your week. I will see y'all next week on